Hey, look out. It's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
It's good to talk to this young man again, Dr. Stephen Steinhilber from Luther Rice College and Seminary. Doc, how are you?
We're doing really well. Thanks, Rick. And I appreciate you, Dan, for having me back on. It was August of last year, so it's been almost a year.
Has it been that long
already? Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. 1 year into the presidency, and we're doing really well. We got a great team here. Our staff and our faculty are amazing. That's what makes us different than a lot of other schools, to be honest with you, is we've got approximately 1,000 students all over the United States and all over the world. But when a student calls us or they want to interact with a faculty member or staff member, they get a personal attention, which is really nice. I mean, in fact, we'll pray for folks. We had a faculty member who's in Africa right now, and pray for him. His dad just found out he's in the ICU, and his dad's got a brain bleed. And immediately once we found out about that, all the faculty and staff start praying together. So it's a small, intimate family, but at the same time, we service a bunch of folks. So it's a cool environment.
So what kind of awesome things have you learned in your first year there? We were talking beforehand. You said you've got some gray hair. I don't see it. I don't see any gray hair.
Yeah. But I go get my haircut tonight, man. You'll see it all over black.
Yeah. So what have you learned in the first year? How's it been?
Okay, so I like things to go rather quickly, and I like them to go according to my timetable. The way I'm structured and the way I'm built, but the Lord it's his time and his way. An old pastor used to tell me we're a crock pot. I mean, we're a microwave generation serving a crock pot God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I've just got to learn to trust him. We're putting a lot of things in place. We're building on a solid foundation that our past presidents and leadership built for us. And I've just got to trust God along the way. We're doing it prayerfully. I think we're doing it with wisdom. Same time, we're doing it with boldness, and we're doing it with urgency. So just pray for me that I have patience, but at the same time that we're doing it according to his will.
Yeah.
Dr. Steinhilber with us from Luther Rice College and Seminary, ranked number 5 for the best online college in Georgia, which is really cool. And as he mentioned, been there a year. It started in 1962. You think about the past presidents and those that have led Luther Rice and where you are now. It's the 21st century, touching, I'll bet, the first guys. I mean, of course, we didn't have the technology, right? They had no idea the influence that they would have as it passed down through the years and now around the world. Is that cool?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Dr. Whitty started Luther Rice back in 1962. And I think I mentioned on the last podcast, when he envisioned seminary, he envisioned pastors that couldn't pack up their families and move from their ministry and go to Fort Worth or go to Louisville, where all the big seminaries are, New Orleans. And he said, why don't we just do this from home? So he developed a program without the internet. It was a correspondence where he had pastors all over the United States and all over the world sending in their work, getting it graded, send it back to them, and earning a degree. And here we are now. We have the internet, which allows us to do that more efficiently, but it's really the same thing. And prior to COVID, as I mentioned once before, it's people kind of looked at online education and said, it's kind of the inferior education. But post-COVID, we're looking at these folks and saying, hey, what took you so long? We got to the market ahead of a lot of other folks. And it's a testimony to our prior presidents.
So what kind of things do you hear from the folks who are taking the classes online? And obviously it makes it so much easier. Like you said, if you have a family and you can't just pack up and move to Fort Worth or Louisville or New Orleans or any of those places, what do you hear from these folks?
Yeah, I hear that we do it really well. And that's not to mean that I'm not patting myself on the back or I'm trying to set ourselves apart from anybody else by just stating that, but we really do. We've been doing this for almost 20 years. So we have developed an online curriculum that's interactive with the students and interactive with the faculty members. So right now, our average age student is anywhere between 40 and 50 years old, believe it or not. So it's these folks men and women are trying to fit in a college or a seminary education into their work, their ministry, their family. And so we're trying to broaden that. We've just launched several new degrees. We launched a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology since the last time we've talked. It's part of our Ministry in the Marketplace initiative. We're hoping to get approval from our accreditors here in the next couple of weeks for a PhD in organizational leadership. And then this fall, I'm actually going to bring before our board of directors or our board of trustees a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration. So what that's going to do, Rick and Dan, it's going to broaden our market space, if you will, so that we can possibly reach a greater number of students. And we just feel like ministry is not confined to the four walls of the church.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine you want employees that are going to be hardworking, that you can trust, that have good ethics, that work from a biblical worldview. And we feel like Luther Rice can offer that in a whole variety of degrees. So we're excited about it. And we're just only starting.
It's so cool to see the innovation, as you mentioned, from the very beginning, and that innovation just continues to go as you're talking about the new programs and new degrees and such. And psychology, right? It's so important these days. And I know this has been a while that this has been going on, but psychology is so important to be a part of ministry and life as we deal with people, right?
That's right. And we want it from a biblical worldview. We don't want it from a secular worldview. So what we've committed to our board of trustees and we've committed to our constituents is that we will teach it from with the Bible as our base, if you will. And we've got people. It's been amazing to see the interest that we've seen thus far. It's exceeding my expectations, and especially post-COVID, the mental health is at the top of everybody's list of what we need to address. And what better way to do it than a college and a seminary that loves Jesus, follows the teachings of Jesus, than to do it with the safety of a school like ours. So we're excited about it. And honestly, Rick and Dan, it's going to offer us the opportunity to go into these Christian schools, like K through 12, and offer parents. Maybe someone listening right now is a parent that's saying, listen, I've got a kid that's going to be graduating 11th, 12th grade, and I want a safe place to send my kid. Maybe they even want to be a veterinarian. Okay, we don't have veterinarian school here, but maybe they can finish off their general education requirements here at a school like Luther Rice, knowing that they're going to learn science and apologetics and philosophy from a biblical worldview. And then they can transfer those credits off to, let's say, University of Georgia or Georgia Tech, because we just, back in December of 2020, we got our SACS accreditation, which means we have the same accreditation as Georgia Tech, and so forth. So send us your kids. We'll teach them right. And then if they want to go into ministry, hey, they can continue here. They want to get a psychology degree, stay here. But if they want to go be a vet, they want to go on to be an engineer, hey, at least they've got the solid foundation from a biblical worldview to do so. So that's where we want to speak to the parents of this next generation. Send us your kids.
And I think that's going to be huge for parents, because there's so many kids who go off to college, especially their freshman years, and they kind of lose it. They turn away from the church. We've seen that over and over again. And if they can get, their general education from a place that's going to help them to build their apologetics and to build their faith, that's going to be huge for not only for the kids, but for the parents as well.
Yeah, Dan. And you know what? I wasn't saved until I was 23 years old. So I went through my 4 years of college as an unsaved individual. Now, I wasn't a reprobate by any imagination, but at the same time, I look back at the courses I chose, the people I decided to hang around with. And if we can provide an alternative to that for these young men and women and not throw them to the wolves, you're right. Let's do it. So send them our way.
Yeah.
And we're probably more affordable than any of the schools around. So that to boot, we're a great option.
Luther Rice College and Seminary, Dr. Stephen Steinhilber, and we're in the summer. So tell us what's coming up. Classes start locally when? Probably August, September, what?
Yeah, so we're actually in our summer semester. It's an 11-week semester that started at the end of May. So we have students currently enrolled right now, and then the fall semester starts early September. I don't have the exact date. It's right around September the 3rd, September the 4th. That's a 15-week semester. So anybody that's looking to get in for the fall, they still have time to apply. And in fact, I just talked with our business office. You probably get this several times when you talk to folks, but we've got a promotional code for your listeners. If they want to apply to Luther Rice and they want to waive the $50 application fee, all they need to do is put the word FaithTalk, all one word, FaithTalk, in the promotional code in the online application. They'll waive the $50 fee.
Awesome. We appreciate you doing that. Faith Talk is the key word there. And now you talked about some of the new degree programs that you got coming online. What are some of the ones that you've had going on? Some of get kind of your bread and butter online degrees for folks who are thinking, maybe I should do this. I want to study. What do you have available for them?
Yeah, so we have in addition to the Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, we have the traditional Bachelor of Arts in Religion. Teaches you biblical studies, and you can choose from. There's 3 minors you get to choose from: Christian worldviews or apologetics, ministry, and biblical counseling. So that's the BA. That's the traditional 120 credit hour bachelor's. Then we have 5 Master of Arts programs, which are only 12 classes, or a fancy way of saying 36 credit hours, in apologetics, ministry, leadership, biblical counseling, and I forgot the last one. But anyway, so and then we've got a Master Divinity, and we just launched an 81-hour Master Divinity. So we used to have the traditional 90-hour. We reduced it 9 hours. That's been very successful recently. And then we have the Doctor of Ministry program as well. So anybody that's completed their master's work, looking to go on and get a doctorate, we have that. And then Lord willing, here in the fall, we'll have the PhD in organizational leadership. And if I can mention really quick, we just launched this past spring a certificate program. So Rick and Dan, this would be perfect even for you. Listen, it's only 3 classes, 9 credit hours. And let's say you say, I don't want to do a full degree. I don't want to do a full undergraduate or graduate degree. I just only want to get a taste of it. You could take 3 classes in apologetics, leadership, counseling, theology, pastoral ministry, whatever it is at the undergraduate, graduate level, and you get a certificate from an accredited institution like Luther Rice. And then you say, hey, man, I can do this. I want to stack that. So you start stacking them on top of each other, roll them into a higher degree. So anyway, it's for somebody that maybe teaching Sunday school, Bible study, or someone that just wants to get their feet wet. We would love to have them.
Wow.
A great idea.
That sounds good. Dr. Stephen Steinhilber, he is at Luther Rice College and Seminary. LutherRice.edu is the place to go to. Doc, let's not make it a year, huh? Let's visit sooner than that. And, I have this suspicion next time he'll be talking about the veterinary medicine at Luther Rice.
Yeah. Listen, who knows? Who knows what we'll offer? But I just really appreciate what you guys do. I really appreciate what you do for Atlanta. And you guys are just fun to talk to. And it's fun to come on this. It's engaging, yet it's no pressure. So thank you. You make it easy.
If you ever add a radio degree, we're happy to help teach it and tell people to not go into radio.
Yeah.
We love it. Hey, again, check out Luther Rice and talked about all those programs. And even if you don't want a degree and you want to just up your game, check it out because there's some really cool stuff going on. LutherRice.edu. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.